Domestic and regional flight ticket in Africa definitely more expensive in comparison to Europe. So this is a quick comparison that I've just done. So you have London. I actually posted this on my community tab not too long ago. So you have London to Berlin, London, United Kingdom to Berlin in Germany. You have Lagos in Nigeria to Accra, Ghana. So we're talking about return flight ticket. And what you see here, this is like it's 550 US dollar, whereas at the time when I did this research, so half of that is what you use to fly London to Berlin. And the scary thing here is that Lagos to Accra flight duration is just about 1 hour, and then you have the London to Berlin is about 2 hours. So you can see straight away that this is really the domestic and regional flight ticket in Africa is more expensive. And why is that? One of the reasons why domestic and regional flight ticket in Africa is more expensive is because of the taxes. So you got the taxes here, passenger tax. I mean, there are a lot of other taxes which I'm going to show you, but this is just one of them. So, and this is comparing the regions of Africa, and West Africa here is even more expensive. It's really scary, really. Compare Western Africa, you compare to to Northern Africa, you can see the kind of like an average of passenger tax here. Look at how this is like 4 times of what the Northern Africa is what West Africa is. So this is really massive. And hold on a minute, because I'm going to show you some of the countries in Western Africa that have really high passenger taxes and some other taxes. So you can see Central Africa. So basically Central Africa and Western Africa, these are the places where flight ticket is really and if you look at it here, you can see just right here the Western Africa area. So roughly Western Africa area, and then also the Central Africa as well. So all of these places, these are the places where notorious for high taxes and passenger taxes and a lot of other taxes. Now if we look at it by country, you can see here Niger Republic there, which is this country here right here, Monrovia, so that's Liberia, Busau, so which is one of these Guinea, and then you have Dakar, that's Senegal, you have Douala, Cameroon right there, and Bango. These are countries that Freetown, Sierra Leone. These are countries, and I mean, out of interest, Accra and Lagos are there as well. So these are the countries where you see Bamako as well, Congo, all of these countries, they are just around this area, apart from Antananarivo, so which is Madagascar, capital. So apart from Madagascar capital, so majority of all these are just around the West African area and the Central African area. So you can see the massive price for the taxes, the passenger taxes. So these are some of the reasons why domestic and regional flights are really usually on the high side in Africa. And this is another chart that shows by region. So each region just they just pick 5 countries or 5 airports where the taxes and all of those are really high. So in Western Africa area, you have Monrovia, Freetown, Bissau, Dakar, and you have Central Africa area, you have the Northern Africa. I mean, Northern Africa definitely is the one that has the kind of the lowest really. So but this is just each region, so they just pick a country from each of the region, where they pick 5 countries from each of the region where the airport expenses is really high. And the last part of this is what really shows some of these taxes. You can see landing, noise, parking. There are all sorts of tax lighting, there are all sort of tax checking, all sort of taxes whereby the airlines, they have to pay a lot of these taxes, and because they have to pay a lot of these taxes, it just means that they will have to include them in the flight ticket, and this just makes flight ticket to be expensive at the end of the day. So flying really in Africa, it's kind of like been looked at as for privileged people, or people that have money really, and so almost like not for common people, just simply because all of these, a lot of these taxes that are included, and isn't really about external forces somewhere. So it's just the internal taxes and policies and laws of each of these countries is what just makes the flight ticket to be really high in a lot of the countries in Africa.